Welcome back to the Lethally Stupid podcast, where we're too stupid to know who we're lethal to. Tonight we don't have Brandon with us. He unfortunately had some stuff going on, but we do have Slater here if he decides to join in.
Yeah.
But I think most of the conversation tonight will be Dyson and myself.
Yeah, almost had Colton here again, but he had some stuff come up too, so...
Near miss.
No.
So hopefully next time.
Yeah, hopefully so.
But as it stands, I think our plan is to try and find something that Dyson and I don't agree on, or at least disagree on enough that it something we disagree on, I guess.
Yeah, that it roughs up the friendship a little bit.
Yeah. Because nothing comes to mind immediately.
No, not at all. I'm trying to think because we tend to agree on a lot.
Yeah,
we might not be to the same level.
I mean, I feel like somewhere within the video game or anime opinion is where it's most likely going to be found.
Yeah, exactly. Because I don't know, if it's like power scaling, it's like it's too hard to do because everyone in the realm of their own, universe, it's
I mean, I guess it could be something like a difference of opinion of which character beats which one within a universe or something if there's not a definite answer.
Yeah. Which I just don't know what show that, or what universe that would be the best one.
Well, one with a lot of characters, so like Dragon Ball Z or One Piece, something we both know a good amount to.
Because there's One Piece between the two of them is probably best because there's so much characters.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so many, and because I feel like we'd have the same answers for Dragon Ball.
Yeah, for a lot of them, for sure.
Yeah, like who would be who.
Yeah. So I guess in the context of One Piece, how do you feel about Garp and who he goes up against, especially with like some of the newer stuff that's been going on? I don't know.
That's been going on.
Yeah, I don't know how current you are with the manga.
Have you seen like the spoilers for the next chapter with Garp and stuff? I'm not going to say what they are.
After his fight with Kuzan?
Yeah.
I have not. I usually try to avoid spoilers. I just kind of...
Yeah, because... I don't know, stuff's pretty bonkers, I think.
It seems like it, so...
I think, yeah.
But, like, how easily does he tank, like, Admiral-level characters, you think?
Who, Garp?
Yeah. It's like...
he was ready to kill Akainu.
Yeah, I think he definitely would have killed Akainu at Marineford.
And Kuzan and Akainu had a pretty long, pretty close fight, and then Garp just easily took out Kuzan, so it's like...
Yeah, so unless they reveal something, it does, and because of the way that fight went down, unless we get something else revealed, it kind of seems like Akainu's stronger than Aokiji, or at least that fight
he is the current fleet admiral.
Yeah, so
it's safe to say he probably got stronger over time. Also,
yeah,
maybe Kuzan got stronger too, but not as much as maybe Akainu did.
Seems to have been going around doing some drinking and stuff.
Yeah, I think Garp can probably tank a lot.
Yeah.
Just based off what we've seen, but we won't know until we see him fight more of Blackbeard's crew, probably.
It's true.
I mean, he did wipe out an island with a punch.
He did wipe out an island with a punch. He's the only person we've seen do that.
Yeah. Similar to the thing that Emu did, it's like, well, Garp just did that,
Yeah, he doesn't need
have to use whatever Emu used, Yeah. But we don't know what Emu used either, so...
I don't know. What's a character you think maybe you have a slightly contentious opinion about then?
Let's see. I like Garp a lot. I feel like trying to think. What's the admiral that has the light powers?
Oh, that is Kizaru.
Kizaru, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like, and I have people disagree on me with this before. I think he's the weakest admiral.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be Fujitora since he's new, but I don't know. I just feel like it's.
I mean, there's also potentially an argument for what's his name, Green Bull.
Green Bull, yeah.
Yeah.
And what we seen him do.
He's got that Forest Logia, but I mean, we know what happened, in Wano.
What he did in Wano was pretty impressive. So.
But how he got taken out in Wano was kind of...
That's true. Yeah, it was kind of...
He was like, oh, shit.
Uh-huh.
It seemed like as soon as there was somebody above his league, he kind of, literally shit his pants.
I'm also under the impression that Zunisha is extremely powerful, even though they're, like, weak to attacks. But,
yeah, well, got the
power
limit, too, where he has to be commanded.
Yeah.
So...
But... I don't know, I've seen people argue about like how Zunisha would do against Kaido. It's like, well, Kaido would probably deal too much damage before Zunisha could do much.
Yeah.
But if he surprised Kaido, maybe. I mean, he'd be able to hurt Kaido, probably.
Oh, yeah,
but beat Kaido, probably not. But I've seen people be like, oh, yeah, he'd one-shot Kaido. I'm like, I don't think so.
I mean, why not do that then, begs the question, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Why not show up and just do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe because he wasn't commanded to.
For a long time.
Yeah.
But you would think, and Oden probably knew all about Zunisha.
I mean, he went to Zou.
Yeah. So he, and it has to be a member of the Kozuki clan that commands him. So.
Yeah, I mean, he heard him too, but he didn't hear him as well as Momonosuke did.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I really have too many One Piece, like opinions that are too, like out there, because. I don't know, ones that I have that are out there are probably like a good one that could argue about like strength of characters is like Fairy Tail, but not a lot of people watch Fairy Tail.
Yeah, see, I haven't seen Fairy Tail. A lot of people that I've
run into. Yeah, there's always an argument of who's stronger between all these people because like the main characters are always fighting strong people, and early on in the arc, one of them might be kicking ass, and the other ones are getting their shit pushed in. But then by the end of the arc, it flip-flops. You know, it's like you never know how things are going to go. But it's also a very power of friendship show at the same time. Yeah. So you never know how Fairy Tail fights are going to go.
Yeah.
Even though it's very good. But
it might be even harder than I realized. There might be a really good reason we don't run into a lot of stuff that we disagree strongly on.
Yeah. It'd be harder with Dragon Ball because I just feel like everyone kind of knows how powerful people are. Just based on what we've seen.
I mean, that's kind of like, so maybe we could talk about like power scaling in general.
Yeah.
Like if you had to come up with, like off the top of your head, who do you think the strongest, like, I guess non-gag anime character is?
Strongest non-gag. Well, I haven't seen all of them, so that's why it's really hard.
Yeah, but I guess just the ones you're aware of.
I guess there's two really common ones I see that are always up there on the list. And I don't know if you've ever watched either of these. There's the Misfit of Demon Academy, which is Anos Voldigold. He's the Demon Lord in that show. And then that time I got reincarnated as a slime, the main character Rimuru. Those two, every time, are always mentioned as just like peak, anime strength. Like, it's always like, there's always these videos of like, Goku runs the gauntlet and he beats like the first three people, but then it's like Rimuru or Anos from one of those two shows. And they're like, he stops here, he gets beat by this character.
What's the reason they
solo the verse. So I know more about that time I got reincarnated in slime because it's really good. And I've read not all of the manga, but some of it. He just gets OP super fast. The start of the show, it's an isekai. So he's just a regular human dude.
I have a little level of
familiarity. Yeah, he gets stabbed. He's as he's dying, he's like, man, I feel so cold. And this like voice is like heat resistance, taking all this stuff. Everything he's saying, it's like getting a resistance lined up for him for that thing. And the only race it can find for him that can have all these resistances is a slime. So he's reincarnated as the slime with all these like abilities. So he's super OP from the get-go.
But he's a slime?
He's a slime,
okay.
Yeah. And he immediately, like first episode, runs into one of the 4 or 5 most powerful dragons in that world that has been kind of sealed away. And then he absorbs the seal with the dragon inside of it because he just has like an infinite pocket dimension in himself. And he's like, well, I can't break the shield right now. I don't know how to unseal him, so I'll just absorb it, and then over time I'll figure out how to unseal it, which he eventually does. So, as it goes, he just gets more and more OP. Like, he eventually becomes a demon lord himself. All of his people under him who work under him are crazy powerful. But it's like one of those things where it's like, okay, this is magic. It's different from Dragon Ball stuff,
Yeah.
So it's hard to, and we've never seen these characters do any kind of like planet busting or anything like that.
Yeah,
but they've been in realms where the destruction that they do is way beyond planetary and galaxy level and stuff like that. But they're not doing it on the world that they live on. They go into a separate realm and do all this stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it's hard to say.
Yeah, power scaling, I guess there's a reason it's like people can make entire careers out of it because you can just always go back and forth and new information can always just be written.
Yeah, exactly. Which there's always the people who are like, well, because I see a bunch of Dragon Ball fans always bring up Xeno. It's like, oh yeah, you just erase the universe. It's like, well, maybe only the Dragon Ball universes.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about Xeno.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, cool, gets along with Goku.
Yeah.
I like those interactions, but the other just cheat stuff they can do with Xeno, I don't like. Grand Priest, on the other hand, I like Grand Priest. I think he's cool.
Have you ever, there's a fan manga for Dragon Ball called Hakai.
Hakai.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Hakai.
No, the only one I've heard of is the one where the guy gets reincarnated as Yamcha.
That's hilarious.
That's a fan manga, and it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
everything still goes about the same, but he's able to make Yamcha's life better because he's Yamcha and he knows a bunch about Dragon Ball. So so everyone still gets just as powerful. He's like a little bit stronger, Yamcha, pretty much, but I mean, he still acts like Yamcha. He's not acting like himself. It's just Yamcha with more knowledge is all it is.
Okay.
It's like Yamcha with future sight, pretty much.
Be dangerous.
Yeah.
He'd still be a great baseball player.
Oh yeah. He does still do the baseball stuff, I believe, in it, because I haven't read it all. I think Colton did read it all when I mentioned it to him.
Okay.
He's like, I'm gonna read that. Yeah, I haven't, but that's the only fan one I've heard of. But yeah, I don't know what.
Well, the general premise of Dragon Ball Hakai is that Champa, Beerus's brother.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, they vote him out of his destroyer position, like the priests and the angels and stuff.
Yeah, they say on Universe 6.
It's like, you're not doing a great job.
Yeah.
And they hold...
Is it Vados?
Yeah.
She's the one destroying the planets and stuff.
Yeah. It's like, come on.
Yeah, come on, dude.
So they hold an election, essentially. Like, not an election, but a vote of all the priests and the angels and the other destroyers. And between Goku and Vegeta.
Oh, for the next destroyer.
Yeah, to become the destroyer of Universe 6.
Okay.
And so whichever one of them gets selected is going to be given, an immortal body. Mm-hmm. So that kind of makes them even more powerful just because of how they are in general. So if their body can sustain all this kind of stuff that it couldn't before.
Yeah, they just get a power boost right then and there.
Yeah. So, and I think it's like everyone votes for Vegeta.
Yeah.
Is what I believe
after
it is.
what Goku did for the fucking tournament, basically endangering everybody,
Yeah, so everyone votes for Vegeta.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then Zeno says, nah, I want it to be Goku.
Well, that would be something Zeno would do.
Yeah.
Because he'd want to keep Goku around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Goku becomes the destroyer of Universe 6, and he's getting trained with Vados and all that kind of stuff. And it's a pretty good fan manga, and it's pretty well illustrated and everything. I definitely recommend you check it out. But they start encountering other things like they give an origin for where the Kais come from and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And then they talk about something called...
Did they just kill Champa? Like, does he just die?
No. So basically, he loses his immortality because he doesn't have an immortal. He's not a god anymore. But they told him, like, yeah, you can go live out, the rest of your life on whatever planet you choose, and we'll teleport you there.
Yeah.
And he chooses to go to Universe. Yeah, he chooses to go to Universe 6's Earth.
Oh, 6's Earth. Oh well.
Yeah,
Beerus did restore it.
Yeah.
With the Dragon Balls. So,
yeah.
Okay.
So.
Go eat good food.
Yeah. So he just goes to spend the rest of his life on Earth.
Yeah, which we don't know anything about their race. They might live fucking thousands of years,
Oh, yeah, because there's nothing canon about it, but they come up with a name for the race, for Beerus's race and all that, because it gives you more backstory into Beerus. Oh, and they revive a character from Dragon Ball Z that was during, I can't remember exactly which arc, but just while Goku's dead, while he's training in the other world, because it is the guy's name that I'm struggling to remember. Pikkon.
Yeah. Oh.
Basically, they had this new history they've written. Beerus is, I think, the 4th in the line of Universe 7's destroyers.
Okay.
And in this new lore, they've got Pikkon as the 1st.
Oh, okay.
So, or no, maybe the 2nd. Either way, he's the one that trained Beerus. So.
Okay.
But I definitely recommend you checking it out as far as fan
I would like if they would bring Pikkon back.
I love Pikkon. So here's my question:
how powerful is Pikkon right now?
Yeah, how powerful is Pikkon? But Why Frieza instead of Pikkon? When they were wishing somebody back for the Tournament of Power.
Yeah, because, I mean, he's a canon character, isn't he? Yeah.
So...
Yeah, no, they should, I guess, because they were still doing stuff with Frieza, with the storyline stuff.
I guess.
But, like, no, I would love for them to bring Pikkon back, because Pikkon, originally, whenever he was introduced, was, like, a little bit beyond Super Saiyan Goku, wasn't he? Like, he was
he was getting him run for his money.
Yeah, exactly. So, and we don't even know, maybe Pikkon wasn't powered up. We have no idea.
Yeah.
And he's from Universe 7, isn't he?
I believe so.
Okay. Yeah,
Well, yeah, if he was in the afterlife of Universe...
if he's training in the afterlife... Yeah. Because Goku trained in afterlife and got stronger.
Yeah, so... Well, and he has to have been a powerful enough warrior to even keep his body. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. So. And being, dead but still training this entire time. And he's literally had the time to train this whole time.
Yeah.
Could have at least made him, like Android 17 got Super Saiyan Blue level.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could have definitely made him that.
Oh, yeah.
Or... a little bit beyond it,
Imagine Pikkon tapping into the...
or like fucking I mean, honestly, how skilled of a warrior he was, I wouldn't be surprised if he was, like, Jiren level, if they brought him back.
Yeah, that's another
good... But, like, if they, instead of, like, alternate universe that we live in, where they brought Pikkon back instead of Frieza, and it's like, oh, he's almost Jiren level. Like, there's almost no difference between them. Like, maybe Jiren's a little bit stronger. And Pikkon gets taken out in a dumbass way, and the tournament, and Goku still does the Mastered Ultra Instinct stuff. But
and then you don't have to have Frieza at all.
But have you seen in the manga how Goku is making Ultra Instinct better by doing True Ultra Instinct, which is he looks like he's in his base form, but he has like the Mastered Ultra Instinct look still going on. So it's not the faux. Like Ultra Instinct
that he hair turns silver and all that.
And then there's the Mastered that has like the white hair and the silver eyes. But he has like the Mastered Ultra Instinct eyes, but his hair is black.
Okay, so he looks more like his base form then.
Yes, which is his next goal is to make that his base form so he can start stacking Super Saiyan on top of it. Which would make him fucking crazy powerful. Because isn't Super Saiyan like 150 times boost?
Yeah, they might have just gone with an even 100. It might be 100.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what it is, but I mean, putting that on top of Master Ultra Instinct is pretty crazy. And then Vegeta went and learned more stuff from the Yardrats, so he has instant transmission, and he has the fission or whatever they call it.
What is it? Ultra Ego?
That's what when he combines his, because he's learned some Hakai stuff from Beerus, and he puts in some of his new technique, the fission stuff. And he puts it together to make Ultra Ego.
Yeah.
Because the fission stuff is like he's getting hit, but he's able to take that energy from it and, use it against him, make himself stronger. So it's the opposite route of Goku. Goku's is never get hit.
Vegeta's is get hit harder back.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Get hit, turn that hit into a stronger hit against them. So,
exactly.
So, which I think is kind of fitting of Vegeta.
It really is.
In the Tournament of Power, he's like, I'll find my own damn way to get stronger,
He did, yeah, he did say that.
And he did it.
Yep.
And then Beerus one-shots him. So, or not Beerus, Black Frieza one-shots him.
Yeah.
That's like shit. But Akira Toriyama said, and this was during this superhero movie, when Gohan got his new form, everyone's like, okay, so now that Gohan is his new form, who's the strongest character in the series? And they said, including Black Frieza and all that, and he said, Gohan Beast. So it's like, if he's stronger,
I've always
stronger than Black
that,
Frieza,
that Gohan has had the most potential of any character. He's supposed to have the most
potential.
Because he's also got that Broly type mutagen thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That the Saiyans can have. That's like 1 in a million odds. In addition to being that perfect human Saiyan hybrid.
Yes, exactly.
So
yeah, because he has the extra emotions that humans can have.
Yeah.
Saiyans aren't supposed to be able to.
Well, and don't humans don't they start out in the Dragon Ball universe incredibly low power level, like sub 1 most of them, but they lack the cap in the same way that a lot of species have.
Yes, yeah.
So
humans are supposed to not have the same kind of cap.
They just don't usually have the time or the circumstances to get that strong.
It's said like, humans can adapt easier than any other race in the universes.
So you combine that with the ultra rare Saiyan genetics that Gohan has for some reason.
Exactly.
And that's just sometimes happens.
Yeah, exactly. Like Goku doesn't have that.
Yeah, Goku doesn't have it. Goten doesn't have it.
Yeah.
But Gohan has it.
But Gohan has it. Yeah, I've always loved Gohan. He's always been.
That's part of the reason I really don't like Chi-Chi.
Yeah, Yeah, Chi-Chi's always kind of been so
I mean,
for me.
I understand the idea behind a character like that, where the goal is to have the mother that's like, she doesn't want the kid to fight. She wants the kid to be, successful in other things. And I understand that. But sometimes she just seems incredibly stupid with the way she deals with things.
Yes, 100%. Because it's like, do you not keep seeing the fucking threats that show up?
Yeah, it's like, I understand that you want him to study for this test to get into this school, but this school will not exist if you prevent him from stopping this guy from blowing up the planet.
Yes, exactly. Because it's like, imagine his potential if he would have trained this entire time, Yeah, and not even like still not like just not doing his studies, like still doing his studies but training on top of it. Like even then he would have been crazy powerful.
Well, I think it was another Akira Toriyama thing talking about power levels, where I think it was 8 million that just tracksuit non-training Gohan was sitting at in Resurrection F, which means untrained, out of shape Gohan levels Namek Saga Frieza without trying.
Yeah, exactly.
Without even going Super Saiyan.
So here's something we might disagree on. One of my favorite characters is Tien, and he's always been. A lot of people always say, "Oh, he's in the running for strongest human." I say he's not because of the Three-Eyed Clan stuff.
He's not a human? He counts differently?
I think he's counted differently because he's half human, half Three-Eyed Clan. Because they've said that's not human. So
have they said what they are, though?
To my knowledge, they're some kind of extraterrestrial, but we don't know.
So yeah, that would put him in the same category as like Gohan.
Yeah, exactly. So whenever they say Krillin's the strongest human, I agree with that if you take Tien out of it. Because I think Tien's stronger than Krillin. Because he still trains and stuff like that.
Yeah, Krillin does take all those breaks.
Yeah. I mean, sure, he's a police officer and everything like that, but I feel like if Krillin and Tien threw down, I think Tien would win. But, I don't know, this might be something you disagree on me with. And I was like, here's something.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about it.
Because Colton does not agree with me.
Oh, he doesn't?
No, he doesn't.
He thinks Krillin would win?
Yeah, he thinks so. But it's like Tien still has the dojo. He still trains.
Yeah, he's never stopped training.
No, exactly. So then that's why
he's undoubtedly in better shape.
That's why I felt like he was done so fucking dirty in the anime Turn of the Power and the manga. He did better. And then in the Moro arc, when that finally gets animated, he does some work against some of the escapee prisoners that are pretty strong. Like he does some work, and then people forget about Resurrection F. And the entire army that's attacking. Yeah. I think besides Piccolo, Tien takes out the most.
Yeah, I think you're right.
He takes out so many. And there's a lot of them there.
And no one would question that Piccolo is powerful.
Yes, exactly.
No one would question that Piccolo would beat Krillin.
Especially with Orange Piccolo. Oh, Piccolo would definitely beat Krillin. Yeah.
So no contest.
And then I've heard people disagree about, out of all the Z fighters, who's the weakest. I 100% undoubtedly think it's Chaozu. A lot of people still say Yamcha. I'm like, no. It's 100% Chaozu.
Yamcha's got the meme thing going on.
Yeah, exactly. But
if you want to be like, if the Z fighters were to just have a tournament, and round 1, Chaozu and Yamcha are paired up. Yeah, I think Yamcha. How does Yamcha deal with the telekinesis? Can he stop that?
I feel like now that he has a powerful enough.
You think he can just will his way? You think he's strong enough to will his way through it?
Will his way through it because Chaozu's power level hasn't climbed nearly as much as everyone else's. Because sure, he has telekinesis. The only other person we've seen do that, or 2 characters in Z we've seen do that, are Cell and Frieza.
And Cell only did that because he has Frieza's DNA. So.
Yeah, I don't think he has Chaozu's DNA.
No, Jiro said it was all the Z fighters.
Okay, yeah, so he does have Chaozu. So,
it could have been either.
Could have been both.
But that just means that they're still the only 2 characters that have telekinesis of their own accord.
Yeah.
Are Frieza and Chaozu.
And I'm talking like Z characters specifically because, Majin Buu probably has telekinesis because he's...
Well, and Super Buu definitely does.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And then Kid Buu would probably have it, but never use it because he's Kid Buu and he's just a mindless...
Might not have known how, really.
Yes, exactly. And then Super, it's like, okay... All the angels probably have it. All the gods of destruction probably have it.
Yeah.
It's just all these
but that's one of those things where once you get strong enough, I imagine it's easy to just manipulate energy things.
Yes, exactly. It's like or just shoot out a little bit of your energy to touch something and then move it yourself. Like, and however they do it, So, but yeah, I feel like Yamcha would get through it. I feel like he'd get through the telekinesis because I feel like he's powerful enough. Because I think his power level is at the point where he's a planet buster, like Yamcha.
Yeah, Yamcha is canonically planet buster level.
Yeah, and I don't think Chaozu is.
Because Yamcha is stronger than Vegeta was when they first showed up in Dragon Ball Z.
Okay, yeah, and
that Vegeta canonically,
was a planet
planets.
buster. Yeah. Back when he had red hair.
Yeah.
And voiced by a different guy.
Yeah. Not
Which I'm glad they brought back.
He hadn't fully matured.
Yeah, exactly. And then Nappa raised 2 fingers and annihilated a city, and that was a 5,000 power level.
Yeah.
Which is nuts. So
I mean, most people don't realize how low humans actually are in like the Dragon Ball canon.
I mean, what was the Farmer 5?
No. So that's the thing.
No, that's Bulma. Bulma was
in
5, wasn't she?
Dragon Ball, like when Goku is a child, his power level is 10 early on.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He can block bullets with his finger.
Yeah.
At a power level of 10.
Yeah.
Most humans are sub 1.
Oh, that's true.
So.
Yeah.
Like that farmer with that gun was almost a 1, I think.
Yeah. There are memes about the farmer too.
Yeah.
Like he's extremely powerful because he survived all that shit that he's seen. So
yeah, like holy shit.
And then I always see the people bring up like, because people like to show like the good moments of like Majin Buu when he first appears and the blind kid's like not scared of him, and he heals him, and it's like, and then he was Super Buu and did human extinction and killed that kid.
Yeah, it's all right. Everyone always gets wished back in Dragon
exactly.
Ball.
Everyone was wished back, and then I think Majin Buu was one of the people they were made to forget about, right? Or like the evil shit that he did.
Yes.
Because I think they all remember Cell.
I think they do. Yeah,
yes,
the people
because
of Earth
they remember Satan as
Mr.
Satan as the savior. And then eventually a lot of people figure out that Mr. Satan didn't beat Cell.
Yeah.
And then even less people who have figured that out know it's Gohan. So
yeah.
But out of all the gods of destruction, who do you think's the strongest? And I have something from the manga that wasn't shown in the anime for my answer.
I can't remember his name.
What's he look like?
Fish type.
Is he green and kind of has like the
like
almost gills on the side?
Like
he's one of the gods
creature from the Black Lagoon or whatever.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Isn't
he's one of the universes that didn't fight?
Yeah.
In the tournament.
Doesn't he have like a history with Beerus to an extent though?
A few of them do. Like Kitella, the yellow one, the clown guy, and I believe him, and I forget his name too.
But I think I'm not basing that on anything other than I've watched videos about the power scaling, and they've mentioned him, and now I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I can't remember his name either, but I believe, he's always put in like top 3 in a video I've seen or anything like that, and in my own deductions from manga stuff of like watching because the few gods fight in the anime, and Grand Priest is like, all right, now fix it.
Okay.
In the manga, all the gods fight.
Oh, okay.
And they all because since there's 12 of them, 11 of them go for one of them together at the same time. All of them go for Beerus.
They all go for Beerus
at the same time, and Beerus blocks them all and is able to dodge a bunch of them because he is the closest to Ultra Instinct. Because
so none of the gods of destruction that are current have actually mastered it?
They have not mastered it. They kind of have the foe, kind of like Goku had, but they haven't mastered it. Because that's why they all stood up for him. And they did this in the manga also, whenever he attained it. Because they're like, a fucking mortal did this, which was kind of
the hell
mind-blowing to them.
Yeah.
So they're just like, damn, out of respect, we got to stand up for this guy. And Beerus was kind of like, how surprised he was, and like the sweat, like, like, oh shit, like he did it, but
like if he can get that, then
which, it's a really good fight. Like a lot of them,
I might have to just find those chapters of the manga and read it.
A lot of them get, I can't remember exactly how shit goes down, but it's like, and even like Beerus even gets bloodied, like a little bit of blood like coming from his head at one point because the gods are all fucking each other up.
If they all go for Beerus, then you would have to think that they all think Beerus is the biggest threat.
Yes, 100%.
Does that mean they think he's the strongest, though, or does that mean they think he's going to act like the most rashly and lose his shit the quickest?
Well, I think if that was the case, they'd go for Ciampa.
Yeah?
Because he's the one who's always like, he loses his temper pretty quick.
Do you think Ciampa's the second one then, or is there a huge gap between him and Beerus?
Close to Beerus in terms of strength.
Well, I mean, just them basically glaring at each other was rattling the universe.
That's why I think that, like, my top three for how I think it goes, I believe it's Beerus, that guy we don't remember the name of, and then Ciampa. Because I think it's a small gap between Beerus and Ciampa, and then in between that small gap is that guy, or even tied with Beerus. Because he's supposed to be extremely powerful. The weakest is supposed to be Universal 1, the little black furry dude. He's supposed to be the weakest god of destruction.
Oh,
He was one of the universes that didn't fight either. Little mouse guy is supposed to be up there. He's supposed to be pretty strong.
Well, he was the one that was talking about arguing with Beerus about arm wrestling, wasn't he?
Yes.
So
yeah, and when it comes down to like basic stats for the gods of destruction, they're all pretty close. But then how good they are with destruction energy and just energy in general is where their gaps start to happen. And each god of destruction is supposed to have kind of like their own ability that they're good at.
Yeah.
And because I think one of them has like really good telekinesis, and like I forget what Belmod, the clown guy, was good for, but like all of them were like masters in a certain area.
And that sucked. You find out your universe's destroyer is a clown.
Yeah, exactly. And then apparently Jiren's stronger than him.
Yeah.
But then it's like...
That was kind of leading into another question I was thinking. How many other characters do you think might potentially be able to surpass...
Gods of Destruction?
Yeah, Gods of Destruction that aren't canonically...
Where Goku and Vegeta are now.
Yeah, they can for sure, yeah.
But they're not stronger than Beerus.
Not stronger than Beerus, but
they have to be past Belmod because they're both stronger than Jiren at this point.
So that means they're probably in like the top 5 in Gods of Destruction level, I would say, in there somewhere.
Because Beerus could still, and probably not even full power.
Although didn't we say that if the Saiyans worked together, they would beat Beerus? So that means neither Vegeta or Goku add up to a Beerus individually.
But both of them full power apparently
exceed Beerus.
Yeah.
But they would never work together.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so.
But there's still people who are pretty sure Beerus could take out a Black Frieza who knocked out a Goku and Vegeta in one hit.
Yeah.
So, because I think Beerus has been let known about it, and Beerus is not at all worried. He's just like, okay.
Yeah, okay.
He's like, well, if he tries to fight me, I'll erase him. It's like, okay, well, Beerus isn't worried, so I'm not worried either.
Yeah.
And then I'm definitely not worried with Whis there, who's way beyond Beerus even. So.
Yeah, well, the angels are like a whole different thing.
Have you ever seen artwork of, it's like Scooby-Doo is the god of destruction, wearing the god of destruction.
Oh, yeah.
Next to him is Angel Shaggy.
Yeah, I have.
It's just like, yes, accurate.
Oh, yeah, that would be... How fantastic would that be for a fan manga?
Yeah, and man, would they both eat more than Beerus and Whis do.
Can you imagine the look on Beerus's face if he saw a Great Dane, god of destruction, just wolfing down plates and plates of food?
Yeah, the way they do the sandwich, the long...
Yeah. He'd just be having a stroke or something.
Like the long foods of plate that they just gulp down. Or Shaggy even putting the full plate of all the food in.
Yeah. Where did the plate go?
A human-looking angel just doing that, like...
What the heck?
Like, what the fuck? And then, out of all the angels, like, we know Grand Prix is supposed to be the strongest out of all of them, but out of the rest of the angels, who do you think is the strongest? Because they're all very close.
Well, don't Whis and Vados say that Vados is stronger than Whis a little bit?
Whis says he's stronger than her.
Vados says the other way, yeah. So I would guess they're probably pretty evenly matched.
My guess is that they're interchangeable 1 and 2, but probably Vados is probably stronger. She's the older sister.
Yeah.
So I feel like she might have a little bit more.
I wonder if all the angels can do the temporal do-over?
Yeah, it's like an angel ability. And they're all just always in Mastered Ultra Instinct. Like, it's not that's not something that they transform into. It's like,
just
it's
just
a state.
Yeah.
Just a state we're in all the time. So I don't know if we want to keep going with this one or stop it now because we're at 34 minutes.
Better sweet spot.
Yeah, but I don't know if we found anything that we disagreed on yet. We might have to try it again.
Yeah,
maybe Brandon can come up with some stuff to help.
That's the thing too. It's like it's so easy it's easy to find something to argue with about Brandon.
Yeah,
which I like.
Yeah,
but
and which I told Brandon before because like I remember last time, which people are probably hearing this now, like yeah, what the fuck, we were gonna do that Zelda thing, and I told Brandon I was like I'm gonna I'm gonna lay out my stuff, and I'm totally like fine if it's like a different, like if it ends up being something else, like okay, cool, this is just what I think.
Yeah.
I'm like I've never been one for debates and arguments and stuff like that. So I was like, if it turns into a debate, I told Brandon it's like I'll leave it up to you and Soren, and I will listen. Because I'm listening to them, but I'm not one for being a part of them. Just past childhood trauma. Because I see debates as more arguments.
I see.
I don't like arguments. So
I understand that.
Yeah. It starts reminding me of bad times when I was a kid.
Yes.
But not really. It's
bad times.
Yeah. But not really. I could debate and all that stuff. It's just I feel like I have way less practice in it than everybody else.
Oh, yeah.
So I need to do it more, but at the same time, I'm just way less practiced. And I tend to agree with people on a lot of stuff. And then if I don't, I just leave it at that. I'm like,
I guess
so
we
you're
don't
disagree.
Yeah.
Like, okay. I'm not going to debate them. Like,
very affable guy.
My mind's not going to change. You're not going to change my mind on how I feel or think about something. So I'm just like, okay,
yeah, cool.
You feel that way, I feel this way. That's cool.
Yep.
It's like it doesn't change my opinion of you at all.
Yep.
Like there's been people who have, their opinions change on me. I go, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever. So.
Life is.
Yeah, exactly. So. I don't know. Eventually, we'll probably find something.
There's bound to be something. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Which we probably did a little bit on because on some of the stuff there. But...
No, I think the thing is, I think I agree with you about TN.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. As I was sitting here thinking about it.
Yeah, and then because I like.
I guess that means I technically disagree with Colton then. So too bad he's not here.
Yeah, there you go. And I like to present what I know and what I'm aware of. If there's something out there that says something else about TN that I don't know about. Totally fine seeing it and being it shown to me. Like fucking prove me wrong if you have the information. Totally cool. This is what I know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna apply what I know to my.
I love being
thoughts.
Proven wrong. So.
Yeah. It's like okay, there's more out there that I didn't know about.
Yep.
It's like ignorance is truly bliss.
Yes, proof that
it's like this is how I think right now with what I know.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, so we can go ahead and call this one to a close then.
And.
So I guess we can have everyone, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah, we're hoping to get some interaction.
Yes, comments, to put some stuff in the comments.
Yeah, see if we can something that we might disagree about. If you've got a contentious opinion about something.
Yeah, give us stuff to talk about so we can find something.
Yeah, we'll argue about anything.
Because there's plenty that we disagree with on Brandon, and we're still friends with him because we're not crazy people.
That's the whole point.
Yes, exactly. Oh yeah, thanks for watching, and toodaloo.